Here, Clinton.
Bum, 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 bum. All right, well, that's a second place bend is what that is here on a Thursday morning. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant alongside Greg Bergman and Parker Bell, who is apparently wandering the streets somewhere. Where exactly are you, Parker, right now?
All right, so I just got a tripod set up, so you'll be able to see where I'm at. I'm currently outside of Legends Attic. The squad is setting up here. We're going to have a live broadcast. Travis and DeMarco. Greg's here, of course, to do the first pitch. But we're doing the Blue Review live from here as well.
Well, we are doing the Blue Review live. I'm in a back room right now, so people are walking around, so they're hearing everything. I can't go as hard as I want to go at this team today because it's just not appropriate. But either way, Parker, you are no longer allowed on this show, so I'm going to have you step away, my friend.
Yeah. By the way, for folks we're gonna have to let you go. Apparently, I'm
not allowed.
At the suggestion of Clint Pasillas, you're being DFA'd, at least for today.
Jeff Spiegel.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, yesterday, Greg, Parker, several of the gang were out at Clearman's Galley having a watch party for the Dodgers, and Parker showed up in an Angels jersey. I mean, sure, it said Ohtani on the back, but it was still an Angels jersey. And while I really did try to speak up on your behalf because it's Ohtani, it seems like most of the fan base suggests that maybe you ride the pine for a little bit. So
he also, by the way, Parker, you also were sitting there while the Angels were down and had two runners on. And go, wouldn't it be the worst thing in the world if Noah Schanuel had a home run? That would just be terrible. So he was actively rooting against the Dodgers.
Okay, so one, it was Zach Neto. And to my defense, there is another Zach Neto defender here in Travis Rogers. We just like Neto. Two, I saw the votes, and I think I understand. It's overwhelming majority. Maybe I can stand trial at some point. I don't know. You guys will have to bring it up to the council again.
Yeah. Well, it's at least a one-game suspension.
It's a one-game suspension, it appears. I will say this, Parker. Sometime in the future, it's going to be great when the Dodgers have a middle infield of Zach Neto and Jacob Wilson when the Angels and A's respectively give up on those two guys. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Anyway, I know you got the tripod set up. I know you're getting set up for first pitch and for Travis and DeMarco. So, we appreciate you popping in. You will have to wear
to the AAA, to the minors I go, guys.
You will have to wear that.
It truly
wear that shame for a little bit. So, yeah, absolutely. But, we'll catch you later, Parker. In the meantime, Greg.
We'll see you, Parker.
In the meantime, Greg, we got stuff to talk about. I know both you and I and the chat, I'm sure very unhappy about the latest goings on. But before we do any of that, good time to give a shout out to the folks at LAX. Los Angeles International Airport is transforming the travel experience, saving guests time. Looking very much forward to the People Mover train, which is expected to hit sometime early next year. So for more information, you go to flylax.com/transforminglAX. All right, well, where do you want to start? I will leave it up to you. Where do you want to start this thing?
How about this just start with the fact that you just got swept for a season series by the Angels? I mean, the fact that was what we had to watch last night, and over again, you lost not only at Angel Stadium, you lost at Dodger Stadium. You got swept in a 6-game series by a team that you should be sweeping them with the way that this team is. They were close in every game, and that's just not acceptable. Every single night, when it got to 5-4 and you saw their men on base, how did you feel knowing that you didn't have anybody in the bullpen to go to that you actually feel comfortable with?
So not great. And I don't know if we talked about it yesterday, but I did look yesterday during the show at the bullpen usage and realizing that they've been thin on bullpen arms for a while now, but last night they were incredibly thin. I was sort of surprised that it was Banda that got the first call out of the bullpen. And maybe that was just because of the situation, because it was coming. Maybe they didn't want to bring Wroblewski in the middle of an inning, let him
Right.
start a clean inning and go do that. So that one I kind of understood, even though it was mildly surprising. But, and I texted you this. I texted you guys this last night. If they were going to hold the lead, if they somehow had held the lead in the eighth, who was going to get the ninth? Because that was a real question. I mean, they had Henriquez up in the bullpen in the eighth. They brought him in. We see how that turned out. But even if he had somehow gotten out of it, does that mean they would have gone to him for a second inning to try to get through the ninth? Because Vesia was burned, Trinan was burned.
Yep.
There's nobody else there that, I mean, yeah, especially because you'd already used Bonda. There was nobody else left that you could have trusted to get you through that ninth inning. There was just
Yeah.
nobody there, you know?
No, there wasn't. You're absolutely right. And yes, I think in that sense, you probably were going to have to go Henriquez, or maybe they already used Casparius the night before. It could have been Dreyer. It could have been somebody else, but either way, or Alexis Diaz, maybe they go there. But these are guys that should not be closing games. These are guys that should not be in at the end of games to help you win. As soon as Edgardo Henriquez came in, I'm like, okay, he was fine the other day, but is he going to be able to close out a game? No, it wasn't going to happen. And I don't know if I'm frozen or not.
No, I got you. Well,
Let you go
I
at this
had you.
point.
There you are. You're
Yeah.
back. Yeah, interesting. It was going so well until he throws a two-strike center cut fastball to Hoppy. Uh, and then that was pretty much ball game at that point.
That's all he has,
Yeah.
though. That's what he has. He's gonna.
Yeah,
You're gonna get hits.
so obviously the bullpen catches the blame, and for good reason, right? I mean, they failed to hold leads in multiple games in this series.
Should I
Um,
ask Oral to come on? Oral, that was just Oral Horsheiser that just walked by.
oh,
So I probably should have just
ah,
asked him to come in, right?
well,
Sorry.
but they failed to hold leads in multiple games. You did have the bit of Henriquez bad luck on the ground ball up the middle where if he lets it go or if it gets through, it is an easy inning ending double play, right? Rojas grabs it, steps on second base, throws to first, inning over. You get out of it, still leading 5-4. I understand the instinct to try to make the play, and it ends up being bad luck because it ends up as an infield single, bases loaded. We know how the movie ends. But at some point, some of this falls back on the offense. Score more runs. You are 1 for your last 10 with the bases loaded. You got 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. I know we live in this newfangled era where the kids don't seem to care about strikeouts anymore. Put the ball in play. Give yourself a chance to score runs. I had the biggest feeling of doom when Freddie Freeman chased a pitch off the plate with the bases loaded and strikes out. And yeah, they ended up getting another run, you know, in that inning, a couple runs actually, I think in that inning. But it was just such a missed opportunity to break that thing open. I go back to earlier in the game. They had Hendricks throw 40 pitches in the first. They had him on the ropes. The Angels had someone up in the pen. Somehow Hendricks makes it through 4. Explain to me, riddle me that, Batman. How does that happen? How does he get through 4 innings after throwing 40 pitches in the first? So yeah, definitely throw some of it on the bullpen, right? This is a bullpen at the start of the year, supposed to be anchored on some level by Blake Trinan, Tanner Scott, and others. Right now, the bullpen is being anchored by hopes and prayers. That's all they got. That is all they got in this bullpen right now. The offense was okay over the week, but not great. They could be doing more. They should be doing more, especially because they know who's in the pen. And they know that this is a rotation that struggles to get through 6 innings on a consistent basis. Some point, somebody's got to pick this team up, right? It can't be everybody waiting for the next guy to do it. Somebody else has got to pick this thing up and run with the flag. And we haven't seen that probably since late June. That's really the last time I think we've seen this team play a complete ball game was sometime in late June. Since then, it's just been an absolute disaster. I know you texted us that they're 47 and 43 since May 1st. which is sort of wild because in the past, usually the Dodgers pick things up on my birthday and run away with it. For whatever reason, this year they just decided to take a dump. So thanks for that, guys. Appreciate
Jeez. Hey, well done, sir. I was that I don't you were always very measured and very calm, and I'm usually the one that flies off the handle in different directions. And there was a
it.
Marcus rant today. I absolutely love it. Graham, cut that, post it, get it out there. This man just wanted a nice little rant right now.
Look, man, I'm, we got football season starting. It's busy time. I'm packing. I'm moving to I got stress, man. I don't need this extra stress. I just had to,
Get it
I can
out.
exhale now. I did. I can exhale now. It's a little better.
You asked me yesterday, do you feel better now?
Weirdly, yes. Weirdly, I do. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that right now the Dodgers are looking up at the
Oh,
Padres.
you're right.
Their game in first place. But yeah,
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I don't know how many times. I think it's somewhere around 5 times right now that the Dodgers have had bases loaded and come away with walking in runs. That's their offense with the bases loaded, is to walk guys in. I mean, that's which is not as the same. You have to get hits in those big situations. I love the point that you made about Hendricks in the first inning. They had him one more hit, and he was done. He was being pulled out. And then now that bullpen for the Angels, which is not very good, and used 8 guys the night before, was going to have to get used even earlier. You're going to put up more runs. This is just a different team now. They started off that game up 3-0, and then they were up 5-2. And at that point, you're like, okay, this is what this team is supposed to be doing against a team like the Angels. Go up 5-2. But the Angels showed something that the Dodgers don't have right now. Heart. They just went out there and kept grinding out hits and finding ways to score, putting guys on base, moving them around, and finding ways to score runs and win that game. Little things keep happening where, like, Andy Pages was looking for his 20th home run and just got stolen right over the wall. It's like these are the types of things that can't happen. I understand like the little mistakes. It didn't end up hurting them, but Freeland missing a ball at third and then not getting to said ball to keep that to a single, that became a problem. Probably should have scored more runs because he moved up to second base. Got him out at third, luckily, so it didn't hurt him, and he made up for it with a tremendous tag. But the fact was, that was a mistake, and these little mistakes are happening over and over and over again. And until they clear that up, they're not going to win ball games.
yeah, that was the Freeland play at third. I can forgive him not fielding that ball cleanly, right? It was a tough play on the line, especially for a guy who was still sort of learning the third base position. What was a little more unforgivable was not getting after the ball, right? Having
Right.
Mookie Betts have to try to chase that thing down, and by then Teodosio was on second base. By the way, maybe because of how things have been going lately and the doom and gloom surrounding Dodger baseball, the moment Andy Pages had that home run robbed, I was like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's, like I just knew sort of I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I was pretty sure that the bad was going to happen at that point.
That's where we
I
are
will
right now,
ask,
though, right? That
yeah,
is
that's
real fast.
exactly what it
That's where
is.
we are. Yeah, that's where we are right now. That every single game, I don't feel comfortable because we have no bullpen. So even
No
if you
bullpen.
have that lead at 5-2, even if you have the lead at 5-4, or even if you scored, if Pages did hit that home run, they would have gotten bases loaded and who probably would have won that game still. Like there's no lead that is not overcomable by the opposite team right now.
So I will ask you, do you think Dave Roberts stayed with Shohei a little too long last night?
Now, he was at 66 pitches going into the 5th inning, and he should have been able to get through that. I mean, maybe pull him out one batter earlier, but no. I mean, they're trying to get him ramped up to that fifth inning, and that was
Yeah.
where he was going to go. And he was dealing. He had 7 strikeouts. He was pitching very, very well. It just started to get away, and at that point, yeah, it might have been one pitcher too early or one batter too early, but then Bonda came in and started walking guys. So I mean, he didn't give him any more runs, but he's walking dudes. You can't come in from the bullpen and walk guys. That's just like 101 for bullpens.
Yeah, I mean, and that has been one of the biggest problems with this bullpen lately. I mean, they ultimately give up a big hit, and that's sort of what does them in. But, if you were to sort of do an autopsy of these blown leads and these blown saves, I guarantee you will find walks in there, a lot of times leadoff walks. So you're already
Yeah.
putting yourself behind the eight ball, before the inning even really get started. So then suddenly you have created an even higher leverage situation for yourself. And so that is, that has been a big problem. But I, I go back to part of what I said yesterday, right? I mean, Dave Roberts is the guy who has to sit in front of the microphones after each game and answer the questions, but Dave Roberts isn't giving up leadoff walks. He's not chasing pitches off the plate. He's not, making little mistakes in the field. I mean, these are things that for me, this isn't little league. This isn't high school baseball where you're still trying to coach out of these guys, right? Like these are things that at this level you should kind of be aware of. It should be your approach to the plate. It should be how you handle things in the field. And, um, I think he has done the best possible job he can with what he has to work with right now. I mean, Greg, he has the decision every night of, do I put Michael Conforto or Alex Call in left field? Like,
Ah,
that
it's
that's a devil's bargain right now, right?
yeah.
Like, what do you do with something like that?
There is no right decisions. That's why we were talking about it yesterday. I think where it's like you feel like you're in that Kevin Biggio kind of state because these are guys that you shouldn't be playing. When they're not there, one is better than the other. Maybe Conforto is better than Kevin Biggio, sure, whatever. But you're still in that same state of these guys should not be playing on this team. And you can't win games with guys at the bottom of the order that are just not good. And that's Biggio, Freeland, Call. You can't have that at all in the middle bottom of your lineup and expect to score runs in big positions because you get 1 through 4 or 5 on base and then it all falls apart. Like they need to be able to make um to get runs across. Can I read something to you? This is from Mookie
Please.
Betts last night on a number of close losses, and tell me what you think of this statement. It's encouraging to know we're giving ourselves a chance to win every night. It's not like we're going out there just laying eggs. We're going out there and doing what we can, just falling short right now.
Um, I understand the spirit in which he said it.
Right.
Um, that is a statement for, look, here's the thing. If you are, say, the Detroit Tigers, right? And you got off to a really hot start and you're sort of fading a little bit. But again, the expectations aren't necessarily that the Detroit Tigers are going to run to a World Series.
Sure.
I understand that statement. I bristle at it a little bit from a team that okay. Look, the winning 120 games was always fanciful and it was probably never really in the cards. But this was a team that was supposed to win in the neighborhood of 100 games. This is a team that, um, you know, was expected, still expected to win the National League West. Um, they were expected to mount a serious title defense. And for the last 6 weeks, that hasn't been the case since
Nope.
early to mid July. They've been one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. And I don't know that the fans will accept, nor should anybody in the clubhouse or front office sort of accept moral victories. So I appreciate Mookie trying to keep it on the positive. Um, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me right now.
No, I mean, I hate that statement. That comes from there's times when you can say that and when it's everything is kind of like it's kind of going bad, but you're still doing well and you're putting up runs, you're winning games still, and it's a little bit like you're 500, whatever, or you're winning 6 out of 7 or 6 out of 10, whatever it is. You're not perfect, but you're winning games. That's that statement. It's not like we're not going out there and trying. There are times when you need leaders and you need somebody to step in and say, this is not acceptable. We need to be better. Clayton Kershaw tried it just a little while ago where he was saying that he was like, we have to be better. What are we doing in the outfield? Why are we throwing over guys? Why are we not doing? That's the type of thing you need. Mookie Betts at that point cannot be sitting here saying Yeah, no. It's not like we're not going on trying. I'm really encouraged by what we're looking like. Your bullpen sucks. Your offense can't score with bases loaded. What are you talking about? I actually hate that statement from him, and I want to hear some honesty out of these guys. This is not acceptable. We can't get swept by the Angels. We can't. We're going into one of the biggest series, if not the biggest series of our season now, against the Padres this weekend. We need to be better. We have to hit with runners in scoring position. We have to pitch better. Our bullpen needs to be better.
No,
I
I mean, I
flipped.
agree. No, you're good. I got you. And I agree with all that. It sort of immediately comes back to, it feels like those Dodgers teams from a few years ago, right? Where the perception was they're just workmanlike. They're all business, that there's no fire, there's no emotion. And that was part of what we saw last year, right? When when you have Kike Hernandez on live national television saying, we don't give a bleep, you
Yeah.
know,
Give me that. Give me that.
that seems to be missing right now. And I don't know where they find it from. Because we already know, look, for all their on-field accomplishments, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, they aren't those guys. And Teoscar Hernandez maybe not playing well enough right now to be that guy. Like, so I don't
Yeah.
know where they find it. I don't.
Yeah, see,
I get,
that's when you
I,
miss somebody like Justin Turner who would come
yep,
out there and say something like that.
I will say that forever. That Justin Turner, even in his later years with the Dodgers, when maybe the bat wasn't as productive, still carried enough weight in that locker
Yep.
room to be that guy. And they missed that for sure. I can make you one guarantee today, Greg. The Dodgers will not lose a baseball game.
Hey, that's an amazing feeling. We can
I
all
can,
rest
I
tonight.
can, I can guarantee you that one thing. Of course, they got the day off. Then tomorrow, back at it at Chavez Ravine against the Padres. Looking at the pitching problems, Clayton Kershaw has been announced for the Dodgers. The Padres are TBD. In fact, Kershaw is the only starter announced for that entire series. The Dodgers TBD for Saturday and Sunday. The Padres right now TBD for the entire weekend. If you have a chance, go on out to Legends Attic. Hang out with Travis and DeMarco and Greg and Oral and the whole crew out
Will
there.
Smith.
You can check Will Smith. You can catch the guys on First Pitch coming up in just a few minutes here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. If I'm allowed a little bit of shameless self promotion, you can catch me on NFL Network this afternoon. NFL Fantasy Live is back, so we're back on your TVs 3:00. We can talk some fantasy football. Probably feels a little bit better right now than talking Dodger baseball. In the meantime, thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out as always. Appreciate you folks at LAX as well. For Greg Bergman and for Parker Bell, who's I guess wandering in the parking lot somewhere and right now is on a 1-game suspension. My name is Marcus Grant. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Blue Review 8:30 to 8:55 here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. See you then.
That's it. Bam, bam.